You're listening to Reading Between the Lines with your host, Drew Parker.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
This is the RBTL podcast. I am your host, Drew Parker, along with my co-host, John Stair. Say what's up.
How's it going?
We are brought to you today by Select Staff, who is a local employment agency out of Lubbock, Texas. If you need a job and you want to find one, I guess. Some people need one, don't want to find one. But if you need one and want to find one, go there. Fill out your information. They'll match you up with the right job. We're also blocked to you. We're also brought to you by Blue Apron. There's a home delivery service, farm fresh meals, pre-portioned, pre-packaged ingredients, step-by-step instructions, anywhere from 30 to 45-minute cook time. If you have the money, don't have the time, it's a perfect service for you. Other than that, give us a little taste of what's to come in this podcast, John.
Man, we got some good stuff today. Of course, we're in the midst of bowl season, which is a great start for me personally. I love having bowl games every day.
Oh, yeah.
Football to watch is a great place to be. That's first thing. Justice Parker got a scholarship, so we'll go talk about that. He's a Tech defensive back player, and that's some big news. There's plenty of good stuff happening here. We got that
for sure.
What else do we got in this podcast?
We got
talking about some basketball.
Got some Tech basketball. We got some early signing day. That Tech just went berserk on that today. We got some NFL talk. I'll tell you about where the Cowboys sit in the playoff picture with 2 weeks left to go in the season, and then we'll touch on some final bowl game thoughts before Texas Tech goes out to Birmingham, or they're already in Birmingham.
Before they
play on Saturday. But other than that, for a week that we thought wasn't going to be much, we still have some. Man, somehow managed to fill it up. There we go.
It's a fun time for sports right now.
For sure.
All right, sweet. Let's start with college basketball.
All right,
so I'm going to go over some Big 12 rankings real quick to start us off, and you can tell me about Tech, of course. West Virginia ranked number 10 nationally. It's a good,
ahead
top
of
10.
Kansas.
Ahead of Kansas at 14.
I never would have thought Kansas would be out of the top 10. Never in a million years.
That's crazy. I mean, even just not being first in the conference.
Right.
Of course, we have West Virginia, Kansas at 14, and then TCU ranked 15. OU is ranked 17.
And TCU is now at 11-0, or
I believe so.
That's ridiculous.
They're definitely 0, which is nuts.
I don't know how much that holds water, because they've only played one good team to my recollection. But hey, you know what? You keep winning, it solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, they played Nevada. That was the one that I recognized. Now OU not only snuck into the top 25, but they're now ranked number 17. They have been on fire, and they have a freshman.
Trae Young.
Wow.
Oh, he. I don't know if his points were a career high or no. He had 26 points, which I'm not sure where that ranks on career high or program high. But he had 22 assists, which is ties the Division I record for the most assists in a single game.
That's pretty nice.
Dude's a monster.
Yeah, and as a freshman, he's tearing it up. Of course, if you remember when he was being recruited, he was down to maybe Tech.
He almost went here. Yep.
And OU, so he ended up at OU.
Could you imagine having, we already have a deep team with our freshmen, with Culver and Zaire and is Davide a freshman?
Yeah, Davide is an Italian freshman.
With the freshmen we already have, can you imagine if Trae Young slipped into that lineup, how much of a deeper team we'd be? We'd be a monster.
Yeah, and the Big 12 would be a great conference if they stopped there. But there's even more within the top 25. We, of course, have Baylor ranked number 18, which is right behind OU. And then our very own Red Raiders ranked 21st. Just for
which John's hot take last week about Tech being a top 20 team going into conference play is getting eerie close. I thought he was crazy.
Place.
But hey, If we win against Abilene Christian and people lose at the top again, that's
someone right ahead of us loses or just plays a really close game, because I looked at all their opponents and not very strong opponents. Right. However, if they barely win over one of those teams, they will drop down a few spots, and that's what I'm banking on right now. And just for some perspective, the ACC is the only other team that I found that has 5 teams in the top 25. And, of course, outside of the top 25, there's also Texas, which I guess if you go by votes is ranked 30th. Right. They're falling. And OSU is at 33rd.
The only team that I can pretty much rule out of the tournament right now is K-State. K-State is not quite the basketball school that the other 9 schools are. Now, Joe Lunardi said in the past he can see 8 teams from the Big 12 making it in, which is ridiculous. But K-State is the only one that I'm like, we can kind of put you on the back burner and focus on the other 9.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the 9th place right now. Another fun fact that I found out today, this is kind of unrelated, but Texas Tech baseball was ranked preseason number 5.
Yes, sir.
Number 5 in the nation.
Can't wait for nothing's better than a nice, slightly breezy summer afternoon, a warm spring afternoon. I'm sorry, it goes in the summer, but spring's when
something
it starts.
to look forward to sports-wise in the second semester.
I love spending a nice afternoon at the ballpark.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful there, and I think it's 4 consecutive seasons now, including this one. They've sold out their season tickets.
Yep,
and that's big time for
that is huge
for our program.
Tadlock is a gem.
Looks good.
And
Tadlock's ridiculously awesome for our program.
And those dang Longhorns tried to pull him away last year. He said, "Nope, I'm good."
All right, if you're ready to, let's move on to Texas Tech basketball in particular. This is Texas Tech basketball.
Oh,
lead us
lordy.
off.
Well, we have played 2 games so far. One against Rice, which was last Saturday, and we had a quick turnaround to play Florida Atlantic Tuesday, which was yesterday in terms of this podcast recording.
Yeah.
Rice was a throwback game.
So you were at those games, correct?
I was at both. It was the throwback game was very interesting. It was full of nostalgia and Tech history. The arena was at the old Coliseum. That was straight out of the 80s. It was so cool to see.
Do you feel like it was more of a distraction or kind of just a cool thing? Because they didn't get out to a very good start.
You're right. They came out a little slow. They ended up winning by 20, I believe. I don't know if it was exactly 20,
I believe
but
it was 20.
It was in the realm of 20. And I personally put it on more of a logistical gameplay difference instead of obviously it is a special night. There is some pressure. I think the players came out a little stiff, but in terms of the actual gameplay, it's. They always say when you go into the NCAA tournament, it's harder to play in those stadiums because you're used to the fans and the stands being right behind the basket. But when it's set back a little bit, your depth perception gets thrown off, and depth perception is a huge part of shooting.
Yeah, I would think it makes a weird difference when it's not a home or away feel.
Right,
a neutral site is very different.
But as for the game, we played. Obviously, John said we got out of the slow start. You're right; it was 20. The final score was 73-53. We forced Rice to have 26 turnovers, and we only had 9. Anytime you can keep it under 9 is a good day. I'll take 10 or less in conference play should give you a chance to win any game.
Without foul trouble.
Right. But throughout the game, they rolled out some old alumni. Cheryl Swoops, Marshall Sharp, Tony Petit, which is if you don't know him, I know he's a shot blocker. I think he might be the shot blocker. I know he's the shot blocking leader. He might be the rebound leader. I'm not sure on that, but definitely some memorable alumni coming out.
Yeah,
and
NBA veteran like him too.
Right.
It's really cool.
And right before that game, we also had the alumni game, which obviously doesn't mean anything in terms of actually counting for something, but it was really cool to see some of those. They had a guy from the 70s playing, and I'm like, you go, old man.
That's awesome.
But some of those guys can shoot.
Don't foul that guy too hard.
Right. The most recent guy was Robert Turner, who was playing. He was here from 14 to 15.
Really?
He was one of our point guards. But it was some of those guys can still shoot. Some of those guys I'd sign again, but
some of those guys could probably play in Europe now.
There were threes running like crazy.
Yeah.
But as for the game, we had 4 players in double digits. There we go. We had Smith, Stevenson, Evans, and the other Smith. I can't.
Zaire and Zach Smith.
Does it have their number on this dang statue? Because I can never tell which one's which.
Yeah, the Z Smith doesn't really help, does it?
Right, exactly. But
that's pretty nuts.
But we had a good showing. Again, we limited the turnovers. One of the things that I will never get tired of, and I tweeted this last night at the game, I will never get tired of watching Jarrett Culver just clean pickpocket somebody. It's a thing of beauty.
He's a fun guy to watch.
He has some lengthy arms that he can get that ball away from
him and Zaire are my 2 favorite freshmen to watch.
I'm telling you, it's all about the hustle plays for the freshmen. There was a shot last night.
Yes, they bring the energy.
Right. I think Justin Gray had a shot. He was going right, a little pop up of 10-footer off to the right side, and Zaire Smith nearly hit his nose on the rim going for a cleanup dunk. He was just. I love the anticipation and the energy he brings, and I
hope that never goes away too,
for sure. And as for the other game that Tech has played,
I mean, there was Kennesaw State, which they blew out as well.
Right.
But then the other game being
the other game was
recent.
FAU
Wow.
It was a slow start. You know, it wasn't the usual slow start. Over the last few games, I've noticed a immediate slow start. We've come out in the last first 3 minutes shooting a little cold. There's actually a change of the starting lineup. Zaire Smith came in for Zach Smith, which I wasn't a huge fan of at first.
Okay.
But Norris Odiase also came in for Tommy Hamilton, which I really like. I like Tommy Hamilton. He's a great player, but he has kind of this awkwardness to him, and I feel like Norris Odiase is more comfortable in his body and what his body is capable of. So I'm not a huge fan of trading the Zach Smith for the Zaire Smith. I'm not saying I don't love Zaire. I love him to death, but
it's a weird trade, yeah.
Right?
They're very similar stylistically.
But as for the game, we put up 90 on the FAU. 90 will beat anybody in the country as long as you play. As long as
without overtime, 90 should beat everybody.
Right, and as long as you don't give them 30
wide
turnovers,
open, yeah.
right? But they had 54, so we beat them by what is that? 36. There we go.
Yep.
But in this game, we had 6 players in double digits. Which, by the way, is
that's like the coach's dream.
Right.
Every player,
which by the way,
well.
makes my hot take true.
Yeah, and we did with Rice as well. So
right.
Definitely 100%.
We had, I believe, both Smiths were Zaire was, Zach was not. We had Stevenson in doubles, Keenan in doubles, Cole in doubles.
Moretti, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm not used to that nickname yet. Hamilton in doubles and Zaire. Because. Okay, I'm gonna get confused. But one of the Smiths wasn't doubles. I still can't tell which.
Yeah, I think it was Zaire.
But we had a heck of a showing. We started out a little cold, and then once those starters started getting pulled, you could see a little slump off. I think we went up 14-3, and they came back and they were winning 17-14 at one point.
Really?
So they had a huge run early on, and then I believe we had a nice run at the end of the first half. Made it from a tie game to I believe an 8-point lead at halftime. And then second half we took over. Second half we went, I believe. Let me make sure from 3 points. From the 3-point land, we went wrong column. We went 14 for 26 on the day for 3 points.
That's not bad.
But we made 11 of those in the second half.
Yeah, it sounded like there's a trend with this team,
right?
Which can kind of be scary,
but
kind of can be good.
We are a second half team for sure. I don't know why, but we are.
It's dangerous to not play really well in the first half because there are certain teams who can pull away.
Like Kansas,
early.
who will bury you in a heartbeat.
Yes, there's a lot of teams. So that's some stuff we got to get fixed. Of course, free throws have not been great either.
They haven't been.
They've
gotten
a little better.
We ran down the threes in the second half. Second half, we ended up being 11 for 16 for threes. So we shot just over 50%. We shot
quite a bit over in the second half.
We shot over 50% from threes. Ended up being 53. Our free throw percentage was 66, and our field goal percentage was just shy of 50.
You said? Would you say 70 is about the range where you're starting to be like, this is a good free throw percent? As a team,
I don't know. Last year we were 75, so I don't know.
Man, if we have that again, that helps you win games. I mean, if you remember Rice last year, I think it was Livingston. Anthony Livingston had to make 3 free throws at the end to give us the lead.
That's
huge.
There's 2 recipes that combine to give you a good chance to win every game.
Okay.
Limited turnovers. Okay, I guess these is combined into one. Limited turnovers, great turnovers, and free throws. In this game, I believe we had. Let me make sure.
Get to the line and make them.
I know we had less than 10. I don't know exactly what it was. We had turnovers. Tech had 8 turnovers, and FAU had 19. So it's still
that shows you a lot.
Limit them and create them.
Win the turnover battle.
Right. But
every game.
But if we can have free throws up to 70-75%, because
that's a solid number.
It's free throws are what some Big 12 matchups
are going to thrive on.
Are going to thrive on, are going to be decided on. So if we can get those knocked down, then I won't be so scared in the close games come conference play. Speaking of conference play, we have a game against Abilene Christian on this Friday, which is, I believe, is the 20.
I don't have that date.
Sure, I don't know my calendar in my head.
This Friday.
But this Friday is Abilene Christian, and if we win there, which I'm not overlooking them, because Chris Beard has made it clear that he's not overlooking anybody. He was. I was listening. I was a nerd. I had my headphones in during the game, so I was watching the game but listening to the radio broadcast. And
how delayed was that?
By about a possession. It wasn't bad. It was It wasn't. I mean, I'm not gonna do it for conference play, but when you're sitting. Oh, by the way, attendance wise, for a game on December 19th when all the students, anybody who's okay.
Which game was it? Was it the FAU game?
It was the FAU game.
It didn't look like there was a ton.
Obviously, we're still here because we're unorthodox students. We have a working life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But everybody who's anybody has already left. And for the alumni game, just kind of touch
that
on
one seemed packed.
Much. That place holds a little over 8,400 people.
Okay.
And I believe it was just shy of 71.
It looked pretty darn full for that facility.
And for a place that's made of pure concrete, it got loud.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't know if it's bad of me, but one of the best things of college basketball is when the refs make a bad call, and I just love to hear the boos rain down.
Just that deep pitch.
The deep just bass raining down. But as for last night's game, for a game on the 19th where everybody's gone, the attendance was actually 50%. The stadium was still 50% full, which it was a lot of alumni. The students, obviously, I felt like I was the only one there.
That's got to be a point of pride for alumni to come in and fill the stadium while the students aren't there, to be that different.
I have the screenshot of it. Let me look at. It says it was at 51% capacity. Out of the arena holds just shy of 15,100, and the attendance was 7,700.
Wow, that's more than. I guess maybe it trailed off towards the end in some of the highlights. And that's
for December 19th. Can you imagine when it comes to January and that place
looking good?
That place is going to be absolutely rocking come conference play.
Oh yeah.
The first game of conference play is December 29th against Baylor.
At home, right?
Yes, at home. I'll be here. I don't know how many people from going home will be here, but so I don't expect that game to be too. It'll be busy with like parents bringing their kids, but in terms of the first bring the noise game, I believe we have. We have a
Kansas
game,
State maybe before OU.
We have a game on the 18th, on the night of the 18th, the first night the first night of classes. I know that.
Okay.
So I don't know who we play, but I know there's a game on the 18th on the first day of classes. So because people know, because I mean the program knows everybody's gonna be back, and they have no other excuse because we know that first day is all syllabus day.
Yeah,
so
you got your syllabus, no homework.
Right. You don't have any stress yet. Come to a basketball game and scream your head off.
Sweet. So some things I noticed, of course, we're ranked 21st in the AP poll. The last three victories, Kennesaw State, Rice, of course, and then most recently with Florida Atlantic, those are all Owls.
Yes.
Those are three of the four.
Who would have thought?
Those are three of the four nationally Owl teams.
Right.
Could you wait? Let's see. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Can you name the other one?
I have no idea.
It's
I would spend the whole time thinking about this. So just tell me.
It's the Temple Owls. So that's the only. I know when I heard that I was like, wow, okay.
I should have known that.
So those are the four teams in all of NCAA, I believe, that have the Owls. So we played 3 or 4 of them and beat them all in the last week. That's pretty cool.
And by 20.
At least by 20 by everyone.
One was 20. One was 29. One was 20, and one was 36.
So. Yeah, if you got that at home, if you got that listener, that's really cool because, I didn't even figure it out. I was like, what is the other team that's an Owl?
I was talking about the first game where most of the students will be back. We play West Virginia at home on the 13th.
Dude, that is going to be a big game.
And we play when Texas is on the road on the 17th. But in terms of the first home game where the semester will be in session, it will be on the 23rd against Oklahoma State.
Okay. So that's a while from now.
Also, I'm looking forward to, but you look for my Instant Reaction podcast. I'll start them on the 29th.
They can find that either on the podcast app or SoundCloud.
Right.
Both Drew Parker, RBTO.
Yes.
Reading Between the Lines.
And basically, if it's an away game, I turn off the TV, I turn on the mic. If it's a home game, I get home and I just my pure thoughts. It could either be crashing and burning, or it could be we're freaking. I don't want to say
King
Jesus.
of the world.
Sure, there we go. For lack of a better term. But,
so yeah, keep heads up for that, and I guess we'll do our next podcast together, probably sometimes a few weeks into the new year. Right. So it's going to be a while before we start.
But as for the team, we are 10-1, looking to go 11-1 Friday night. And
yes,
then,
which would be best case scenario for.
Right.
Wow, 11-1, potentially ranked number 20th nationally, like I said.
Right.
Oh, man, that would make me so happy. Cool. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. This is NFL Talk with Drew Parker.
Oh, goodness. Well, there was a whole smorgasbord of games, and before, I'm not going to go over every one of them, but...
A smorgasbord.
But a buffet.
So many games.
But the two biggest games in terms of Twitter blowing up was the one Steelers and the Patriots.
Man,
that was...
I have a bone to pick with that
I have some Steelers friends back home who are not my next door neighbor, but next to the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
And they are huge Steelers fans, and I commented on their post saying, y'all got robbed, I'm sorry. What do you think of that Jesse James catch?
He caught it like Dez caught it.
I think I've been saying this for years. Every time me and my dad will watch football together, I mention this. We should have a naked eye weekend, to where no.
That's a weird way to say that. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
No replay. You call it as you see it. You call it instinctually as if they were playing like backyard football.
So did they originally call that a touchdown, and then upon further review they looked at it and realized, oh, it hit the ground?
It's so dumb.
After he crossed the plane.
Because
I disagree with that rule as well.
As a runner, as soon as the ball breaks the plane, nothing matters afterwards. You can fumble it, but nothing matters afterwards.
Someone can hit it out of your hands as long as it crosses the plane.
As soon as it breaks the plane, not only was his knee down, but he had broken the plane.
But that's not the NFL rule, correct? And that's the reason why there's so many people disputing it.
I've had some good explanations on the rules. I listen to my fair share of podcasts every day.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. It'd be hard to sum it up for you. All I know is that the competition committee coming up this next offseason is going to strongly reconsider this rule.
I just don't like it. It doesn't feel like football.
Right.
Come on. He made the ball past the plane.
They say if you complain about losing as a one call, there's probably other reasons you lost.
Yeah, but when it's a touchdown, that's
right.
Where
you
true. Pretty much got in.
But
that's
granted,
a big difference.
The next play after, Ben Roethlisberger decides to not only does he not spike it, but he fakes a spike and doesn't throw a fade. He throws right over the middle into the traffic.
Yes, I did see that as well.
Of the Patriots defense. Obviously, I don't know how long he's been in the league. I'm not a veteran NFL quarterback by any means, but I know the last thing you do when the game's on the line is throw it up for grabs, quick slant in the middle of the defense. Like, no, you don't do that.
Unless someone's on their heels, like reeling back or something weird.
You clock it and you tie it for overtime. You're at home. You have a better chance.
Overtime almost always favors the home team.
Now I heard something really interesting.
Okay.
This is all part of the love them or hate them. Patriots are a good team. Bill Belichick takes everything into consideration. I heard on one of my podcasts that he, assuming he has the choice, assuming he wins the toss, he will defer to the second half every game when he's on the road, because he knows the first 5 minutes of the second half, people are still in the concession lines, so it's basically a neutral site.
Wow!
I heard that and it blew my mind because he thinks about every little detail. It's ridiculous.
Yes, that's a sign of a good coach, I think.
But as for the other marquee game, the only other one I cared about, besides Rodgers, being placed on IR after being the Packers the Rodgers had a 3-touchdown game, but they also had a 3 interception game, and they lost to the Panthers. They are essentially, they're not mathematically eliminated, but they're essentially out. They placed Rodgers on IR. Brett Hundley is going to be starting for them from now on. So we'll see where that goes. But as for the Cowboys, another interesting call. They win. Oh, I don't remember what the final score was. Pardon me. I'm going to look it up real quick. Oh, it was 2017. I know it. What was your opinion on the Derek Carr fumble in the end zone call?
So he was diving for the corner of the end zone, reaches the ball out.
And Jeff Heath, the GOAT of the defense, made the play.
Effort play, first of all.
He's a kicker.
Ran
he's
the guy down,
right?
And you hit him, and the ball comes out before the ball crosses the plane.
By the way,
now
Jeff Heath is one of the most underrated fast guys in the league. That dude has some speed to him. I didn't think he was going to get that play anyway.
He took a really good angle on it too. And so if he would have fumbled the ball out of bounds, no problem. Right? So he would just go back to where he had the ball last. Mm-hmm. However, he fumbled it into the end zone. And when it goes out the back of the end zone, out of bounds in the end zone, it's going to be ruled, a touchback for the other team? So 2 points and the ball back.
No, not 2 points. You don't get a safety. It just possession.
Oh, sorry, possession. Yeah. There you go. No points.
No, I'm a little biased because the call let my team win. But
I mean, it is what it is. But really, that one makes sense to me.
I mean, here's the logic that I don't get. That's basically the league saying, if you make a great effort and a great stretch and a great attempt and a great play, and you fumble the ball out of the end zone, you screw your team over. Like they're basically penalizing you for trying to play harder, which I don't get.
Yeah, you're in a very vulnerable situation when you're diving out, and so I guess you can make a case for he's in a defenseless position, stretched out, hitting the guy is
in
dangerous.
My opinion, you give him the ball, you give the fumbling team the ball on the same down, just put him on like the 25 or 30, maybe 30 is a little far, maybe 25.
So how does a defensive player feel if they knock it out and it goes out of the end zone?
I just don't think. I don't think
for the casual NFL fan is what you're saying.
I don't think you should be punished for trying to make a great play. Yeah. That's essentially what you're doing. You're trying to stretch out for the goal line and win the game, and you get punished for it.
Does that essentially become the same thing as the guy who fumbled it into the end zone, or the ball hit the ground, or is that considered an? How did the Steelers guy get that call? What was the call? Was it a touchback as well? Or did someone pick it up immediately?
What are you talking about? No, the Steelers call just wasn't a catch.
So you could catch,
there was no fumble involved.
You could catch, run, then drop the ball in the end zone, and they say no catch. Because he caught it and he was still running, and then he dove. What did they call it? Do you remember?
The originally on the field called it a touchdown.
Okay, so after they reversed it, who got the ball and where?
The Steelers got it was an incomplete pass, so the Steelers got the ball back in the original line of scrimmage.
Okay, just loss of down? Just like it were to be?
Yes.
So he had the catch, correct? He caught the ball outside the end zone, took a few steps, went down.
He wasn't in the end zone. He caught it like the one.
Yeah.
And his knee went down, and then he lunged it over.
So he made a football move, turned, knee went down, and then the ball went down.
You know what? I'll direct any complaints of that call to Des Bryant, screwing us over back in 2014.
He feels so validated on that moment too.
He really does. Like if you're considering, I'm gonna get fired up here if we don't watch out.
It's fun to see, actually. So,
a football move. Last I checked, diving towards the goal line is a football move, which means the Cowboys should have been in the NFC Championship in 2014 and maybe to the Super Bowl with the team we had. I'm not salty; it's fine.
He's so smooth about it that it looked like one movement, and that was the problem.
I guess the only difference is between the Dez and the what's his name? Just Jesse James.
Okay.
The only difference in between those two catches to me
significance
is
of the moment.
Not really. It's more of Dez. The ball moved a lot more for Dez.
Yeah.
He bobbled it and he was still in bounds when he bobbled it and he got back control of it while he was in the end zone, obviously. So it wasn't ever a question of inbounds or out of bounds, but the ball moved a lot more in Dez's situation than Jesse James' situation. Because anybody who's anybody, and one of the ways that they said about doing this is get 50 average guys and put them in a room together.
Just be like, is that a touchdown?
And show them that play. And consensually, that was weird.
Consensus will be
there we go.
If not 50, maybe 49 of them would say yes. Touchdown.
Like take your average male at a bar reaction watching that play. That should be the call. Common sense.
Yeah,
I'm not sexist. I'm just saying that's the example that I heard.
Yeah, basically the stereotype. Yeah, that was a touchdown, or no, that looked bad. Yeah, I got you 100%. All right, anything else about
Cowboys? As for the playoff scenario?
Oh yeah, dude. So the Cowboys are still eligible to get into the playoffs.
Yes, they are. They're essentially in a three-way tie for 7th place, and you got to be 6 to get in because there's 4 division winners and 2 wild cards. As for our hopes, we go. Wow, I just blanked on the schedule. We host the Seahawks this week, which is going to be a huge game for us. The Seahawks just got blown out of the water by the Rams at home, so they're going to be a little deflated. So I see us winning that game, and then we go on the road to the Eagles, which if the Eagles are probably resting their starters because they already have the division clinched. Depending on whether they have first place clinched or not, I don't know. I don't know the scenario behind that. But if they have everything clinched next week,
oh no,
is that an ad?
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I clicked on literally the longest one on accident.
I kind of like the elegant music while I was making my elegant elephant statement.
I could just cut out everything you just said and replace it with this. All right, Drew's on his rant.
But
and
if we, you're ridiculous, John.
This is the one that lasts 20 seconds, and I accidentally clicked on it.
But the Eagles would like nothing more than to kill our playoff hopes in Week 17. But as far as the cut and dry scenario, if the Cowboys win out, the Lions lose once, and the Falcons, the Saints, or the Panthers lose twice, we're in. Which is not far-fetched, because the Lions are wildly inconsistent, so I will bet on them to lose one of their last 2 games.
It's like I think it's Jim Carrey meme with the hat.
Right.
So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
So, and Zeke just got off
he's back, which means
Zeke is back.
Zeke is free.
I love it. His suspension is over. He returned. I believe he returned to the facility Monday morning at 10 a.m. So he's been training overseas. What his training is, I don't know, but I'll take his word for it. So we have Zeke back. I think we're gonna run it down the Seahawks' throat just like the Rams did, because Todd Gurley is ridiculous and he put up like 400 yards. If we win out and the Lions lose one of the last 2,
if they win out, do they get 9 or 10 wins?
10.
They'll
10
have 10.
And 6.
Okay, so they won last week, and then they're still going
and
strong.
the Falcons have to go at New Orleans and home against Carolina, which are both playoff contenders. So
yeah, those will be good games.
It's going to be tougher. Obviously, it's going to be tougher for the Falcons to lose twice than the Lions to lose once, because I have no faith in the Lions to do anything consistently. But it's not. We're not. I guess this phrase can go either way. The chances for the Cowboys are not impossible by any means. It's just
they're still slim.
We gotta win out. I'm gonna be the biggest fan of whoever's playing the Lions, and I'm gonna be the biggest fan of whoever's playing the Falcons. Basically,
I got that.
But
cool. And so your verdict right now, if you just had to say, are they making it or not? Yes or no? Throw it in there.
Yes, I put it at about a 70% chance.
So Drew's hot take include the Cowboys are making the playoffs.
I really do, because I think the Lions are inconsistent at best, and then the Falcons have 2 good playoff caliber competition ahead.
All right, cool. We're good.
We're good to go.
All right, this is the 2017 football early signing period.
It's good!
And it is very good because Tech has signed on the early. I believe it's the first year they're doing this. The early signing class, basically. We have 12 new people that signed
Just
with
today.
Tech. 12 future freshmen at Tech for the football team. We signed 4 wide receivers, including the 4-star receiver, and I'm going to butcher this name, Eric Azukanma, something like that. He's a really good 4-star receiver. I believe he's 6'2". Yeah, you enjoyed that way too much of me trying to say his name. I haven't heard it said, so I don't know how to say it. That was the hardest name to say. We signed also 2 quarterbacks. Alan Bowman, of course, being the big name. He's a 6'3", 3-star prospect.
I was seeing people thinking he might be QB1 over Jet Duffy. I don't want to see that because I love Jet Duffy.
He reminds me a lot of Davis Webb. He's very much more pocket passer,
and
tall and strong
that
in the
Eric
pocket.
guy reminds people a lot of Eric Ward.
Really?
Apparently. That's what I've heard.
That's one of the last guys that I do know because I didn't become a Tech fan until I came to Tech. And Ward, man,
I still follow Ward on Twitter. Shout out.
It's pretty cool. We signed 5 O-linemen. So this is all offense, basically, in this class.
We had a huge building block signed today. I know that. I don't know
10 of our 11 were offensive. So the 5 offensive linemen included the 3-star commit, probably the most highly touted. His name is Hakeem White. He's a fairly highly touted offensive tackle. A few other big guys, like there's one guy who's like 6'6", 330 or something like that. Some huge guy. So we'll see how that shakes out. Of course, we do have our O-line coming back, so we don't know how many of them.
And a lot of the reaction today was where's the defense? Well, we have 10 of 11 starters on defense coming back. So
we had like 8 that redshirted.
Right. So this is going to be a very offensive heavy year because a lot of our defense is already in place.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe 1 or 2 of those wide receivers will have a chance to earn a starting spot.
Let's just cross our fingers that Cutie stays. I think he will, but we'll cross our fingers for that.
Man, I'm right there with you. Cool. And the last signing is Jalen Hutchings, who's a defensive lineman out of Forney, Texas. He's a running back too, a fullback. Of course, he's probably not going to play at this level, but man, I've told you this before, but watching his film was one of the most fun experiences because, man, he blows people up in the running game. He's like 270 pounds. He just full-on sprints and busts through people.
He's a fullback. I don't know off the top of my head, but what year is Nisby and what year is Mason Reed?
I'm not sure about Reed. I want to say they're both going to be junior, senior.
Because for those of you who aren't following along, those are the two people in his position in his way to start.
For that,
right?
Of course, most likely he's going to be a defensive tackle,
right?
A defensive lineman. The cool thing about that is he had a knee injury. I don't know if you know this. He had some sort of injury that was a nagging injury, and my girlfriend, who wants to be a PT, lives in Forney. And so she was at this PT clinic and saw this kid. He was really excited to come to Tech. And so they had this whole conversation about she goes to Tech, and he was saying, like, man, do they give you your own cook? Because they're going to give me my own chef, and I'm going to have my own place. And she was like, no, normal kids don't have that. But he is absolutely pumped. And of course, with a different strength program, he's already a very strong guy, but a strength program and nutrition program is going to help him put on that weight he needs to get into the program. Right. And it's good to see another defensive lineman come in.
By the way, we didn't touch on this. David Gibbs signed an extension.
Oh, yes.
That was huge.
It was since last time
David Gibbs
2019, correct?
To 2019, 2-year extension worth about $650,000 a year.
Yeah, he's getting quite a raise.
Next person they need to sign is Rusty Witt, because that guy is our strength and conditioning coach, and that dude he's
made a difference.
What's up? Yes, Clay, if you're listening, Hogan, if you're listening, I know y'all are. Wink, wink. Sign Rusty Witt right now.
Yeah.
At ASU, Gibbs is our guy, not yours. And what was it? Arkansas almost signed. Tried to get Hogan away from us. Hey, Arkansas, Hogan's ours, not yours.
There's another coach that got an extension, not for Tech, but Florida Atlantic.
Lane Kiffin
got a big time extension.
Pardon my little brief rant.
I thought he was moving up, but he's
10 years? Are you kidding me?
Did you see what happened in the bowl game?
I haven't. Yes, but.
If that continues,
10 years in this kind of in the college football of today, you don't last 10 years. If he sees this kind of success if he continues this kind of success that he's seen this year, he won't be there for more than 3.
I mean that implies that the big buyouts coming as well.
Because nobody. I mean, obviously, I mean, he says he's happy in Florida where he is, blah, 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 blah. That won't last.
Don't believe that.
That won't last. I'm telling you, I don't know who in the right mind. Like, I know we knocked FAU unconscious in our basketball game, but they need to come to their senses in their football also. Because, boy, a 10-year extension is a lot in today's game. You don't see. Obviously, unless you're Bill Snyder, who
there's no such thing as a sure thing.
Right.
As well.
If he sees a level of success that he saw this year, Power 5 is going to be knocking on his door in a year or two.
If they're not already.
Right. Oh, for sure. I just find it. I haven't heard any any money numbers. There we go.
You can come back and check if he's still there in 2 years. Then we'll talk.
10 years is a long time to be at a non-Power 5 school. It just is. Because you won't. Because unless they expand the playoff to 16 teams, you're not getting into that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just my opinion. I was baffled when I saw 10 years.
You'd have to have a non-conference 2 top 5, top 10 teams, and that's hard to do. All right, cool. That's all I got for the early signing period. Now the next segment I like to call Justice is Served, because Justice Parker earns a scholarship. Now listen to this video.
With those catchphrases.
Tell you something. Justice, what's up, man? Congratulations, you're on scholarship.
That's so cool.
That's what's up.
All right, I'm gonna let him break it down, and then we'll talk about it. Listen to that. Oh, so good.
That's fantastic. And for those who don't know,
break him down. Break him down. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And for those who don't know, the people before that clip started, Danny Amendola was also on camera, who is a former Tech receiver. But the voice you heard right at the beginning was Rob Gronkowski. Sorry,
the man himself,
Rob Gronkowski, who might have single-handedly gotten the Patriots to win over against the Steelers. But yeah, it's a great day. Justice deserved it. I mean,
man, what a clip!
Right, his effort and pride and determination goes beyond last game of the season. But he put himself into the legend books with that pick against Texas.
He wrote a Instagram post a few weeks back. It says, "One day they're gonna make a 30 for 30 about me."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Dang, so true."
Okay, I see you.
And I was like, Man, this kid comes from not getting any offers, nothing, and he's making big time plays.
Not gonna lie, one of the things I love about him the most is his face black when during the games. He does that triangle. It looks so intense, but yeah.
So I think he's the one that maybe deserves it most out of anybody,
right?
Even in the country, because man, he played his butt off. This video, of course, went viral. Sports Illustrated had it. ESPN posted it on their Instagram page. It was even on Good Morning America.
Really? I didn't know that.
And I think that's what Nick Shimonek posted, put like an Instagram video or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Saying, my boys, even on Good Morning America, which means we have a huge audience for this, of course. Gronk giving him that news. And I think Justice Parker earned it. He had 4 forced fumbles on the year. He had 4 pass deflections on the year and 4 huge interceptions.
Right.
Man, he should have number 4 or something, man.
Right.
But that, I mean, hopefully a bigger number. Let's get number 7 or 8 and not get 8 of each of those. No, but man, of course, the biggest one being the one that gave us that victory in the end over Austin. Over Longhorns in Austin.
Jeez.
Man, what a play.
But as for some other shout-outs, obviously, congratulations to Justice Parker. It is well-deserved. Obviously, the effort and time you put into this, your craft goes long behind, what we see on the field.
And I believe that was his sophomore season.
Right.
So, man, we have things to come here.
But also, shout out to Cameron Baston. Today's his birthday. So happy birthday to you, Cameron Baston. I don't know if you're not listening to this, but okay.
Happy birthday anyway.
Happy birthday to you as well.
If you see him, wish him a happy birthday or belated birthday by that point.
He was the guy who caught the game-winning. Speaking of that game, he was the guy who caught the game-winning touchdown
right after that
against Texas.
Good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Shout out to Justice for playing his butt off.
You want to go over some bowl games real quick?
Let's do it. This is college football. Awesome bowls last week.
Oh, goodness. Well, no surprise, I'm winning our bowl group.
Dude, you're killing it when you put your confidence that high on a group.
Andrew Moss, shout out to you if you're listening. You're going to give me a run for my money. It's going to be a chess match between us two because you know what you're doing also. I thought I was going to get you on yesterday's game, but you had it maxed out on confidence also. But as for some games...
let's just go overall, outright, how things are going for the two of us so far.
Okay.
Do you have them listed, or you want me to?
I don't have it in front of me.
All right. North Carolina A&T defeated Grambling 21-14, which was a great game to start off bowl season, but it crushed both of our perfect bowl seasons.
I only had one on confidence, which showed because I didn't know what the heck was going to happen.
That was a good game to have a low confidence on. Of course, we both started the bowl season with an L right there. Troy defeats UNT 50-30. And both of us were correct.
And I had Troy at 41 confidence.
Dang, yeah. So that's big time right there. Georgia State defeats Western Kentucky 27-17. Both of us were wrong on that one.
Dang. I had no idea what to expect from that game.
And then Boise State over Oregon 38-28.
I should have put more points to Boise. I was a little timid on them. It's crazy.
Yes, that game wasn't a sure thing.
They were up 24-0 right before the half.
Kind of scares you when a team starts running back like that.
And then they were up 24-0 right before half, and Boise State was trying to make it 31-0. Who did they play again? Sorry. Oregon had a strip fumble. Run back.
I know. I looked off and I came back and it was 14-point swing.
Right.
I was like, wow.
I believe it was like an 80-something yard fumble return and a 100-yard pick six.
But that was really about the only thing they had going for them.
I was sitting there and I was sitting back. I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy a nice little victory here. And I was like, oh, crap. I got to actually care about this game still.
Yeah, that's definitely the feel. So we're tied up into this point. And then, of course, we both chose Marshall. Of course, we both chose Colorado State, and Marshall ended up defeating them 31-28.
Which has so far has been one of the biggest popularity upsets because
really
because in terms of the other people voting on Bowl Mania, Colorado State was a huge favorite, but Marshall flipped the script on us a little bit.
They really did. And then despite the 14 fourth quarter points for Colorado State, Marshall still hung on to win. So that was a big game. I had Middle Tennessee over Arkansas State, and they won 35-30. Drew, you took Arkansas State in that one, so that was the first one we have different. Florida Atlantic runs all over. I
had 40 on them also.
That was a good one to do that. Defeating them 50-3. Yes, you heard that correctly.
50-3.
And he went for fourth downs. He went 2-point conversions.
One of the things I saw on Twitter was Lane Kiffin was being interviewed after the game. Lane Kiffin was obviously, if you haven't followed along, is the guy who we talked about just signed a 10-year extension, which is ridiculous. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox again. But they one of the fans on the field held up a sign saying "We want Bama," and one of the people on Twitter goes, "No, you really don't.
No, please.
No, you don't. You don't want to. You don't want to.
We want Clemson. They're number
you don't
one
want
right now.
You don't want to succumb to yourself to that level of torture."
No, I 100% agree with you on that. If we just go on an outright basis, of course, Drew, you're 3 of 7. I'm 4 of 7.
Oh, garbage.
But together, our picks are equally as good as literally just closing your eyes and flipping a coin. If you put our total points together, total right and wrong together, we're literally 50%.
Huh,
so
nice.
Basically, it would be no better to hear our advice than just flip a coin.
You know, it's funny because I always laugh when people say this. Is like, trust the experts. Like, the experts don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like,
they can't predict that.
Right. You know, they can talk about stats till the cows come home, but sheep come home? What's the saying? I think cows. I think it's cows. But in reality, you have to play the game still, and nobody knows what the heck's going to happen. You know, sports is one of those things and that's one of the things that I love about college basketball. Because some games, you can look at an entire Saturday schedule, and there could be one game that's intriguing, but then the games
all of a sudden,
right? All of a sudden, the games that you don't think are going to be that good, like Boston College over Duke, become good games and become upsets. I love that because you don't know what to expect.
That's personally why I like college football more than professional football.
Right. Oh,
because first of all, the passion is different. There's a different level of proving yourself and showing things that people didn't believe you. When you get to the pros, it's your job. But I just love that in any given day, it's not like the Patriots versus the Browns. You know, it's like an actual game where you just feel like any team can win.
I hate to watch that game.
Yeah, me too. All right, so let's review rapid fire questions from last week.
You are a huge nerd.
Okay, I'm just going to go over the basketball ones because, of course, the football game, when we posted this, has not happened yet. I said, does Keenan Evans lead the team in scoring against Kennesaw State? We both said yes. He did with 16 points.
Blessed.
Does Zach Smith get a double-double against Kennesaw State? Both of us said yes. He got 8 points, 6 rebounds, so no to the double-double. Will another pre-conference game finish as a top 10-point game or less? I'm going to say no, assuming ACU doesn't make it a 10-point game.
Right.
So we both said no on that one. Will Lawrence Odiase get 10 points against Kennesaw State? I said no, you said yes. He played 15 minutes, he got 9 points.
Oh, dang it, I knew it was close.
So you almost said push on that one. That would, yeah, anyway, he got 9 points, so he's just under. I finished 3 of 4, you 2 of 4, both assuming the win over Abilene Christian.
Right.
Not that big of a deal. It's just fun to see our predictions, how they've gone so far. Now I wanted to review our hot takes. My hot takes, of course, I said we beat Kennesaw State by at least 30 points. You'll find this funny because we beat them by 29 points.
Right.
So no on that one. Zach Smith, double-double. No, didn't happen either. Hold Kennesaw State under 60, and I thought that was a little bold, but we did hold them under 60 in the game.
What was the final score of that one?
They were in the 50s somewhere.
Okay.
We beat them by a bunch. We beat them by 29, and they scored like 50-something. Anyway, point being, Tech will be ranked top 20 at the beginning of conference play. We will see.
That's going to be
next week.
Yeah, depending on what happens this weekend, it could happen.
Yeah, we're close. We're at 21st, and getting to 20 seems like nothing, but at the same time, a lot has to happen for that.
As long as you keep winning, everything else takes care of itself.
Just keep winning. Drew, your hot takes, you'd say at least a game with 4+ people in double digits.
We had 2 of them.
We had 2 of them with Rice.
Let's go.
And then 6 people with FIU getting 10+
a thing of beauty.
points.
It really was. Coach's dream.
And then remember, you dreamed a little bit, and we'll see if this comes true. Jets are starting QBs. Amazing. Kiki's back for his senior year, 9-3 next year. In due time, Drew. We'll see. We'll see about that one.
What'd you say on Facebook? You're a
unrelenting optimist or something like that.
A beacon of unrelenting optimism for every Tech fan. I go, that's me.
100% true. All right. You know what that means.
Woo. It
is time for rapid fire questions.
That was a lame woo. I'm going to try that again.
Okay.
Woo! There we go.
I moved away from the mic like it was going to help me. My earphones are still on. It did not help me. All right, so these, of course, are all just about basketball because we already did some other stuff about football. Here we go. Do we beat ACU by 25 or more points?
ACU?
Yes, Abilene
FCU.
Christian.
Oh, sorry. This is not okay. This is for me answering.
Best.
I
yeah.
gotcha. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Do we beat Abilene Christian by 25 or more points?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to go yes
What's
as well.
the line on that?
I don't have the
Curious.
line on me.
It's gotta be. It's Friday, so it should be already up. Let's
Take
pause,
the over for
let's pause 10 seconds to let our affiliates identify themselves as the radio people say. And I'll pull this up right now. It's coming up. Segway music, elevator music. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey.
I just do that rooster in there.
Come on, load.
Okay, so while he's checking out that game, we both said yes, we'll beat them by 25 or more points. So are we above or under that line?
It doesn't show me a line. That's sad.
Maybe there's no line
because
because
of that. We have a 97% chance to win.
Yeah, I'd take the take the victory in that one. 97. That's higher than any other team this year, I think.
Right here. No, there's no line posted yet.
No line posted yet. All right, so here's the next one.
Anticlimactic. Sorry.
Do we take only one of 3 in our games? Okay, so do we win only one game out of our game? Baylor at home, Kansas on the road, and Kansas State at home. Do we win only one of 3? One or under?
No,
or
I think we go win, loss, win.
Okay, I'm right there.
I know Kansas lost twice at home, but that happens once in a blue moon, so it won't happen again for us. I'm sorry.
Yes, I got Baylor and Kansas State as wins.
It's kind of
which
like
is kind of optimistic.
It's kind of like
yes.
going to Norman in football. That's the one game I know you're not going to win.
Does Keenan hit a clutch shot at the end of a game to propel Tech onto victory? And it could be sometime this season, sometime before we meet again. So I'm saying either to tie the game.
Before we meet, there's quite a few games, so I'm going to say yes.
So to either tie a game at the end in the last final minute or so, or to win it with the final shot.
See, I would.
Those are the two possibilities.
I would almost even add hit a big shot to spark the run that we need to come back. But that's
harder to measure.
That's putting a lot of criteria on it. I'd say yes either way.
Okay, I'm gonna take a yes with that as well. Does Zaire Smith lead the team in dunks against ACU? And that's something I could just watch the highlights and figure out how many dunks people have. And if he's tied, he counts as leading.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's neither Smith. I'm going to say it's Justin Gray.
Nice. I'm gonna say yes, that Zaire Smith is the leader.
Okay.
But Justin Gray is my favorite guy to watch.
He really is. The
dude's got ripped muscles, and it looks really cool when someone that's that ripped dunks. I'm like, not man crushing or anything, but maybe a little bit.
I'm man crushing.
The dude has some pretty good muscles.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
Anyway, I love dunks. I'd rather you'd have dunks and 3 points, and
here's my number 5122 cute. It's fine. Sorry.
Is that like a never use that on a girl? No,
I actually have already. So sorry.
Don't do it.
Yikes!
Don't do it. Okay. Now every week I'll try to do at least one would you rather question, and this one I think is pretty difficult. Would you rather have our crap of freshman or Trae Young?
I said our crap of freshman. Okay.
Crap. No, our freshman, or would you rather have Trae Young? Just this year. I'm not saying for future years. Just for the remainder of this year.
Our 4 stellar ones over just him. I'll take 4 over 1 any day.
I'm the same.
I was hoping that was difficult. Get out of here.
I was hoping that maybe the production, those point differential would be enough.
Trae Young can go. What?
Well, the thing about Trae Young is he's only one person, and if he fouls out or if he gets in, you just not having a good night. Or if he's a bad
shooting night, because if Zaire has a best shooting night, we got Moretti and we got Culver to step up. So,
all right, that was the only would you rather question do I have. All right, this is over under questions. Okay, so we already did the football ones, and I can't review any of those or talk about that, but I can go on these ones, and of course. They're not very elaborate. They're just for one of the basketball games. Will Tech have 3 people in double digits for the game against Abilene Christian?
3 people in double digits? Yes.
Over, under, or push?
Oh, sorry.
So you're saying exactly 3 would be push?
I'm going to go push. I'll go 4 again.
You're saying push?
Yeah. No, sorry, over. Sorry.
All right, I'm going over as well, and I'm surprised that you picked the over on that because that's hard to do.
Since it's both going over, I'm saying 4. How many are you saying?
You're saying 4. I'm going to go 5 just to see what happens.
That's fine. Be that way.
Just to see what happens. Tech will score 45 first half points against ACU.
That's a lot. I'm going to go under on that.
I'm going under as well.
Yeah.
just because we have not been starting very strong, and
that's a lot
to predict 45. Like just
we had
shooting.
We had 50 in the second half in yesterday's game, but that's because we started raining threes from the heavens.
I mean, in second half,
right?
A team that's deeper is going to play better in the second half most of the time.
It's gonna outlast anybody.
Norrance Odiase makes 1 3-point shot.
No.
I'm gonna go under as well. Not gonna happen.
Even though I call him Ode Bosse, he can't make a free throw. Or, he can't make a 3-pointer. No way.
That is just not in his scheme.
That's like back in the day, Matt Temple making a 3-pointer. He made one against.
He shot a few.
Right. He
shot more than he should.
He made one really cool one against OU that kind of rattled in.
My favorite moment was when he'd look up and there'd be no one guarding him at the 3-point. He's like, "Should I shoot it?" There was like a moment of.
He was like, "Ah, crap! I guess I will."
You know what that means.
You gotta call the ambulance. Wine 1-1.
What?
I've never heard that?
No, I've never heard that.
Oh, cool.
It's a new thing every time.
It's not original, I promise. I don't know who created it, but whatever.
Anyway, that signals that it's time for hot takes. Of course, these are just basketball again, because we can't do anything about the football game. We've already done those hot takes. So basketball. Keenan Evans will average 16 points per game at the end of the year. So right now he's averaging 17, but it's very different in non-conference than conference play. So he's at 17.
I think that's pretty accurate.
So you're not saying that's too hot?
No, I don't. I mean, it's hot, but I don't think it's. I would. That's not. That's hot, but it's not scorching.
But also, we will rely on him more because he'll be the guy that takes the last shot. He'll be the
veteran guy
at the end of the game.
Speaking of that, there's 6 or 7. I tweeted about this last night. I go, Brandon Francis is a guy he always seems to be open, but he's always trigger shy. So I don't trust him in key situations yet. But I mean, we have 5 or 6 guys that I would trust with my life. We got Gray, we got Bo Smith, we got Evans, we got Odiase, we got Culver. I don't really trust Culver with his late game shooting, but in terms of
if he drives up to the basket,
I will take him. A game's 40 minutes. I will take him for 37 minutes. I just don't want him shooting any clutch ones.
Yeah, you want the experienced guys on those,
right?
The ones that have been there, done that.
And Moretti,
I'll take him late. Like 2 or 3 minutes left shooting threes.
Moretti's 3-point stroke could make a grown man cry.
It is. It is beautiful for sure. Now here's one. Let's see if this is spicy enough. Tech beats Baylor and gives Kansas a run for their money.
You know what? That was gonna be my hot take too.
That's your hot take.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna go 2 of 3 to start it out, but we won't be. What's the right phrasing? It'll still be an interesting game late in the second half against Kansas.
I'm gonna try to make it just crazy as possible. We're gonna take Kansas to overtime.
Oh, I'll say it's within 3 to 7 all throughout the game, and then they stretch it to 10 at the very end. Because 3 to 7 is that range where either you're one possession away from lead or from being tied, or you're in striking range. But they're gonna stretch it. The last
you're saying that not till late, or they're gonna pull away. That's pretty good. My third and final hot take: Texas Tech wins in Norman and defeats Press Virginia at home.
Wow,
that's some.
Trae Young scares me, but it's the only guy they have who's doing anything right now.
We've been good at shutting down one guy,
right?
If they have a guy.
We are a very defensive team. We're getting momentum in some ESPN articles about our defense, so I'm confident in our defense. Press Virginia at home, we did it last year. That cold
over the break too.
That cold-blooded 3 by Livingston right in the corner. Whew, I miss him, but I don't know where he is now. But
I wish he had another year. I think he's playing basketball somewhere.
But that's not. You said win in Norman and beat West Virginia. I think
West Virginia at home and win at Norman.
I mean,
at OU.
I don't think OU's obviously Trae Young is a ridiculous athlete, but I don't think OU is a caliber team we are.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that those are good. Did you have any that weren't that were a hot take?
You took mine, so
I stole it.
Thanks for that.
Well, we did. You said pull away late. I said overtime, so just we could see if one of us is right.
Out of 18 conference games, this is gonna be a long-term hot take. I think we win 12 out of 18, which would be defending home court is gonna be so key this season.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying I guarantee us winning all of them, but if the crowd comes out like I can feel them coming out, it's gonna be freaking raw. There was a game last year against Kansas.
Just playing well is gonna do that.
I couldn't hear myself yell. And OU 2 years ago. Oh my
wow.
gosh!
What a game! I was there.
That place gets rocking, and I have no doubt it's gonna be rocking again this year. But
sure.
Other than that, I'm ready to. I'll hopefully, if I leave on time, I'll hopefully be in Austin on Friday in time to see the game because it's at 2:00 on Friday.
All right.
So I'll be able to see that game, and then again, we have a week off until conference play. Conference play starts Friday, December 29th against Baylor, and I'll start my instant reaction podcast then as well. I'm taking my mic home after this podcast to get all set up. Other than that, I'm ready to kick some USF, not UCF or UFC, USF butt, and put Charlie Strong back where he came from.
We could play a strong game. Right. Beat them that way.
Put that Charlie Strong back where it came from. Also help me.
Yeah, go check out that podcast / YouTube video.
You missed my dang Monsters Inc. reference.
Oh, that thing back where it came from.
Also help me.
Also help me. So in that game, I had 38-31 Tech winning. You had 38-32 Tech winning.
It's creepy, yeah.
So we're gonna see how correct or incorrect we are. Hopefully, as long as Tech wins, pulls out a victory, doesn't matter.
We're happy, right?
We're happy no matter what.
It could be 2-0 or it could be 59-49. I don't care.
So check out that previous podcast for more information on that.
Right.
Anything else before we wrap this thing up?
Other than that, we're gonna take a little break on doing this together, but also be putting some audio out there for y'all.
Yes, check that SoundCloud. Check that
SoundCloud, Facebook, Apple Podcasts. I'm going to make a Twitter page for RBTL somewhat soon in the next few days.
Keep listening. Keep enjoying.
We'll have a caller on sooner than later. I'm already, contacting people to see who wants to come on air with quotations because this isn't on air. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Other than that, I think we're done here.
All right.
Alrighty, wreck 'em.
Wreck 'em.
What just happened? I forgot how to go.